Hello everyone, so my name is Elizabeth and I have been gone from filming and uploading for some time, and that is solely because of this amazing series. I have read these before. I'm not going to give a synopsis other than the fact that it's a prequel to The Mortal Instruments. It's set in the 1800s. It's about a girl named Tessa who goes to London to meet up with her brother there, and there she finds out that she's not as human as she thought she was, and she is brought into the Shadowhunter world, and it's amazing. I love it. A lot of people love it more than The Mortal Instruments, and honestly I cannot pick between them, but I think yes, because it's just the feelings in this one just grip you, and it's only like a trilogy. Yeah, so I'm not gonna talk much about it. This is going to be like quite spoilery because it's just me rereading and just pointing at the little things that I loved from the first time and the things I missed and the things I've just noticed since then. It's really bad. I'm driving and all I can think about is, what is Will doing? What is Tessa doing? Is Jem okay? I'm a mess. I really am a mess, but it's okay because I love him so much and it'll be fine. Everything will be fine, she says. And if you guys haven't read the Infernal Devices series, then I would say leave now because I'm going to spoil it. So these are my thoughts on them, and when I decided to pick Clockwork Angel up, and I was just so happy. I decided to pick it up when I was at work one day, and I was fangirling so much at work because like at the end of Clockwork Princess, like we kind of get the epilogue and we kind of know how everything like wraps up. Just seeing it from the beginning, seeing them when they don't even know yet what's going to happen to them and how much change and how much just pain and just happiness they're gonna go through just fills my heart with so much joy. We open up to Tessa being taken away and how Will comes in and he's all like, oh, it's such cute dialogue. Like I noticed everything in this book. I noticed how in that scene, every time Tessa corrects him or like references to something like Infernal, that hell is not hot but cold, he like his mouth twitches. And then I noticed how Jem, he laughs at a lot of the things Tessa says and how he's quick to smile around her, and I just noticed everything and it was just so beautiful. I love them, but we're not going to talk about them right now. We're not going to talk about the trio. We're going to talk about other characters. So first, I think I want to talk about Jessamine. So why Jessamine? Why does she get to go first? Because I don't have much to say with Jessamine other than Jessamine and Nate's character conflicted me so much because she's a hard character to like, to understand. She doesn't want to be a shadow hunter. She wants to get married off. She wants to be essentially like the wife at home and taking care of the babies and like all being taken care of, and that's not very much who I am. But I still fell for her, especially in Clockwork Prince when she figures out everything was a lie. Even the ring she had on her finger was a lie. Like all she wants is a normal life, a normal existence, and like I understand why she would want that. I understand the kind of peace she would want, and it's just so sad to see like everything she had, she gambled it away. She even says that. Also Nate, I have a brother, and I guess I was conflicted because I put myself in Tasha's shoes because she's the main character, and like what would I do? Like I would never want to hurt my brother. I would never like wish him harm, but if he had done all of this, like like what do you do? At the end he dies, and I wasn't crushed by it. I was more like disappointed in him. Yeah, maybe Tessa isn't his blood sister, but she is his cousin technically, or like half cousin, and they grew up as siblings, and just to see him just like be so power hungry, so greedy, it's quite sad. I was so scared he was going to kiss her. And yeah, so that's all I have to say for them. And then, oh, Henry and Charlotte. Oh my god, I love Henry and Charlotte. Honestly, if you guys haven't read the Dark Artifices series, it's not really a spoiler, but he does remind me of a character in that series. I don't know if you guys would know which character, but if you guys don't want to even be spoiled on that, which I completely understand, I'm gonna put the book here, and once I reveal who it is, I'll take the book down and like we can go on about our business. So he reminds me a lot of Ty Blackthorne. He's just like very much much in his head, very much like all about his inventions or his mechanics, which Ty is all about his mysteries. And I don't know, it was nice to see that. And I wonder if Henry is autistic as like Ty is. I don't know. But I really enjoyed his character. I loved Henry and Charlotte's relationship. They're so cute together. The fact at the end when they're like, well, I know you come, I come second to you. I'm like, no. When I first read how Henry thought that to Charlotte he would come second, that broke my heart. And at the end when they're gonna have a baby, I'm so happy for them. They're so cute. I'm rooting for them the most, I think. Well, no, because we have other pairings like Gideon and Sophie, who I should just talk about now. I also really adore those two pairings. I love Gideon. Gideon, my boy. He's just so honorable, so lawful. I don't know, like he stands up for what's right and he doesn't let even his blood like stray him from that. He is the image of a good Lightwood, because Benedict Lightwood, I didn't like him. I felt like he was trashing the Lightwood name. I'm like, really? You just had to do this to the rest of the family. And I don't have much to say about him. As for Gabriel, but he ends up with Cecily. And I love Cecily. I'm so hyped to read the third book again, because she was one of my favorite characters. And I think one of the reasons I really like her a lot, she has a very fiery, like determined, independent spirit. But she's also like the only Herondale in the whole Cassandra Clare universe. And I adore her. I don't know what it was about her. I remember when I first read about her, I was just so intrigued because her hair, which has nothing to do with it, but like her hair is dark, it's black, and my hair is kind of like really dark brown, but it is kind of like blackish also. I don't know, it's depends on the day. It looks brown, some other times it looks really dark and black. But to me, I could see myself in her shoes, like her fire, her spirit, her headstrongness. Like I wanted to be her. And yeah, just like beautiful eyes as well, you know, like those blue purple eyes that also Will has. We're not talking about Will, we're talking about Cecily and Gabriel, who, well, at least his scenes with Will, oh, I love those scenes. I love how they like gonna pick at each other. I especially love the scene of Gabriel where he's talking to Will, and it's like in Clockwork Angel, and Tessa, again, I love Tessa. She's like not afraid to speak her mind in most cases, and she's like,
come along, Will, this person obviously isn't worth your time. Will looked hugely entertained. So true. You, Gabriel, stammering lightly, looked at Tessa in an alarmed sort of way. You haven't the slightest idea of what he's done, and I don't care either. You're all Nephilim, aren't you? Well, aren't you? You're supposed to be on the same side. Tessa frowned at Gabriel. I think you owe Will an apology.
So much sass, so much sass. I love these girls. I'm really happy that we have headstrong girls like Cecily, like Tessa in this series. I love how Tessa thinks and everything's filtered through books, because a lot of the things I like, that's basically how I think. Like everything is kind of filtered through books. And I don't want to go into the triangle yet because there's other points I want to touch on, such as like Magnus. I love Magnus so much, and it did not change in this series. He hurts me so much. Like his words, his expressions, he wants to help Will, he wants to fix what is broken, people have told him, but he like can't do it all. And when Will's like, well, my life is ruined, Magnus is like, no, you're 17, like you haven't even lived. And for him to say it, like he has a right to say it. He's been alive for so many years and he's gone through so much heartbreak, so much pain, and he still lives and he still tries to help out and like to be human. And I just love him so much. And when he's like, I've always been a sucker for blue eyes and dark hair, I was just like,
Same Magnus.
There's also one other part where he talks to Tessa. Okay, so it's the part where Magnus told her this quote, and it says, this is what Magnus told her.
We are chained to this life by a chain of gold. We dare not sever it for fear of what lies beyond the drop. And then she goes on to think, for if I am immortal, she thought, then I have only this one life. I will not turn and change as you do, James. I will not see you in heaven or on the banks of a great river or in whatever life lies beyond this one.
It's just so sad because this is all the warlocks, but you know, it's okay because Magnus is going to meet Alec, his boy with black hair and blue eyes, and it's gonna be fine. You're gonna be fine, Magnus. You just wait for it. Now I think I'm just going to start and talk about, you know, the big triangle. So people are always talking about like, are you team Will? Are you team Jam? What team are you on? How can I begin to explain the fact that, to me, Cassandra Clare wrapped this series up perfectly. Tessa gets to be with both, but I think that honestly, if I had to really pick one, if I truly had to pick one, I would pick Will, because it's not like, oh my god, he's so cute and stuff, and he's like so beautiful and so good looking. Like, yes, he is, but like so is Jem, and Tessa has expressed it. But I do love that he loves books. In Clockwork Angel, when he's talking to Tessa and they're talking about books, and like the scene where he takes her to the library, I knew in that moment that he had stole my heart. I even put favorite conversation because they were talking about books. He was quoting books and they were like disagreeing, and she was like, I thought you didn't like it. And he's like, well, I mean, it was enjoyable or something like that. That happens on like, I think twice in that book, and then it happens once in this book. The fact that he loves words. Like, I love words. I adore learning new words. I love using them. I love like this old-timey language, which is not really old-timey. I feel like this is not really old-timey. But these books, like them talking about like Wuthering Heights and Tales of Two Cities, like I've never read those books, and now I want to so desperately. I think it's the last scene. It's a part where he confesses to her that he has read all the letters and how he took them from Charlotte. And basically, I'm just gonna read to you. So he says,
she didn't. I pulled them out of the fire myself. I read them all. Every word you wrote. You and I, Tess, we're alike. We live and breathe words. It was books that kept me from taking my life after I thought I could never love anyone, never be loved by anyone again. It was books that made me feel that perhaps I was not completely alone. They could be honest with me and I with them. Reading your words, what you wrote, how you were lonely sometimes and afraid, but always brave, the way you saw the world, its colors and textures and sounds. I felt it. I felt the way you thought, hoped, felt, and dreamt. I felt I was dreaming and thinking and feeling with you. I dreamed what you dreamed, wanted what you wanted, and then I realized that truly I just wanted you. The girl behind the scrawled letters. I loved you from the moment I read them. I still love you. Why? Why?
He got me at the whole reading part. Like, the fact that he loves and speaks to her in like those words, and then she goes on to think this, which is exactly how I feel.
Like, Tessa began to tremble. This was what she always wanted someone to say. In the darkest corner of her heart, wanted Will to say. Will, the boy who loved the same books as she did, the same poetry she did, who made her laugh even when she was furious. And there he was, standing in front of her, telling he loved the words of her heart, the shape of her soul.
And that was it, guys. That was it. That was it. Because halfway through this one, I was just like, okay, well, Will is beautiful. He's amazing with books, but like, he's mean. He's really mean. And Jem's such a kind soul. He's just so sweet, and the sacrifices he goes through, like he has to become a silent brother, basically go years without like really talking, loving, and like it hurts. Even when I think about him sometimes while I'm driving, and it hurts. I do a lot of thinking while I'm driving, and I think about Will, and that hurts too, because he's no longer here with Jem and Tessa. Like, they've lost someone. I especially thought that in this book, in the scene where like Jem hits him, and it's because Jem feels like Will has made a mockery of his illness, and Will was just trying to escape. And it's just like, in that moment I was just like, they need each other so much to get through with life. Someone to lean on, someone to understand, someone to cope with. And just to see that Will's not there anymore, he's no longer around for Jem and Tessa as a friend, as a lover, I guess, but as a friend, it hurts a lot. And I don't want to talk about it. That's, I think, the reason I really love Will. It's also like Magnus also has said, like, he feels things very intensely, very sharp, like lightning, and that also, like, you know, breaks my heart. But I do feel like Tessa and Jem are a great match. Like, he is kindness, he's wholesome, he's gone through so much, he's hurt so much, his family, his backstory, how they tortured him in front of his parents. That's for him to be still good and kind and sweet and like hopeful even at the end, and to love Tessa with all that, to look at her with all that love and hope. It cut me. So like, how can I not root for them? How? You tell me. So yeah, and the ending crushed me absolutely, because like Jem is so happy. Jem is like everyone look at me, I'm gonna marry Tessa. And Tessa, poor soul, like I would not know what to do in her situation. I guess I would just probably do the same thing that she does. I would die. I would cry so much every night, because they're both such precious souls that need to be protected. He comes and he presents her to his family, Charlotte, Henry, and Gideon. I love Gideon in this book. Like, at the end, he's embarrassed by everything. Every amount of affection he sees, he's just like, oh, he's adorable. And no one, like, everyone's in shock. And then Will Will stands up. I gotta read to y'all. I gotta read it because it was too good.
Tessa drew a deep breath. He was beautiful in the evening dress. That was true, but he was always beautiful. There was something different about him now, though. A deep layer of the blue of his eyes cracked in the hard and perfect armor around him that led through a haze of light. This was a new Will. A different Will. A Will she caught only glimpses of. A Will that perhaps only Jem had ever really known. And now she would never know him. The thought pierced her with sadness as if remembering someone who had died. He raised his glass of wine and he said, I don't know two finer people and cannot imagine better news. May your lives together be happy and long. His eyes sought Tessa, then slid away from her, fastening on Jem. Congratulations, brother.
He loves so wholesomely. Is that even a word? Like, so completely. So he throws everything into what he loves, and he loves Jem, and he's going to be there for Jem. He will sacrifice his happiness for Jem. And how can you not? Like, Jem is so good. And I'm not saying like, oh well, he would do it for Jem, but Jem wouldn't do it for him. Like, Jem would 100 times do it for Will as well, because that's the type of relationship they have. Sometimes I'm just like, Tessa, dang it, you just have to break them apart like that. But no, it's like they belong together forever. And I can't read Clockwork Princess because my heart it will not process Clockwork Princess right now. I feel I'm going into college like in 2 days, and if I start reading that book, I will cry, I will be depressed, I will be mourning, because like, well, it's a beautiful ending while she stays with Will, but like will ultimately also stay with Jem. It still hurts to read because the three of them are no longer together. They're not together, and I love them together. I love the banter and the ease in which the three of them can be in, and just to see that didn't happen, like, because Tessa got to be with both of them, but they lost each other. Jem and Will lost each other. Like, they just didn't grow old together, Jem and Will. Yeah. Anyways, so that's my review on Clockwork. So the first two, Clockwork Prince, Clockwork Angel. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope, leave down your thoughts below. Whose team are you on and why are you on his team? I'm rooting for both of them. I want both of them to be happy. They both deserve to be happy. I think just personally, myself, I would go for Will because he loves book and because he has this energy to him, and Tessa explains it too. Like, he's just a ball of energy, and Jem is steady and strength. And maybe later in my life I'd be like, oh yeah, Jem, because of those characteristics. But right now, in my heart, I'm a very free-spirited soul. I like to be independent. I like to do what I want and be kind of reckless, which means like adventurous and daring and stuff. And I will. And the words, reading, it's just, it gets me. Anyways, so that's it, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys will leave down your thoughts below. If I have to pick a main character between Tessa and Clary, or Emma, I guess, I don't know. Tessa's really smart. Tessa's like really smart. Like, she turned into all these people. When she turned into Nate, I was like, you go girl, you go girl, you do it. Also, another moment that also got me like, whoa, was Sophie. When she knocked out Jessamine, golden, I love you. Like, you're gonna make such a great shadow hunter, Sophie, and you don't even know it yet, but you will. I think that's it. Okay, goodbye guys, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.